What's going on, everybody? My name is Eason, and welcome back to another video. And today, guys, we're going to be getting into land boundaries, maritime boundaries, and UNCLOS, or UNCLOS, however you want to say it. So, influence of boundaries. Political boundaries and international agreements can influence national or regional identity. We see this with sense of place, culture, identity, and all that stuff. So, political boundaries create national and regional identity. If we didn't have the boundaries of the United States and Mexico, I have no idea what our identity would look like. But it would definitely not be the same as it is today if we had open borders. An example of influence boundaries is Scotland, which is a semi-autonomous region of the United Kingdom, creating nationalities and political power. So, international agreements. So, the Westminster Parliament gave the Scottish Parliament, more power. And now they're kind of creating their own identity as the Scottish, and they've been wanting to separate from the United Kingdom for a couple of decades now. But now the United Kingdom is giving some political power, and now that Scottish, identity and that regional identity of Scotland is now being created and evolving more than ever. So that's an influence of political boundaries. Then, of course, the influence political boundaries is the creation of nation states. So, political boundaries. So, Japan's boundaries create regional identity. That Japanese region kind of gives you your sense of place and the identity as, the Japanese area. You'll see more Japanese signs, food, sushi, all that stuff over there. Now, political boundaries and international agreements can encourage or discourage international or internal interactions and disputes over resources, and this is usually over the claiming of land. Now, some ways it can encourage this is with supranational organizations. We saw a lot of these get created after World War II to remain peace, order, trade, get rid of tariffs, all of that stuff. I mean, we still have like tariffs and stuff in the 50s and 60s. From North Korea that affected Coca-Cola. You don't see any Coca-Cola in North Korea there anymore. I'm getting too off track. So supranational organizations can be encouraged from political boundaries. So maybe a region with different political boundaries could create organizations to remain peace and order in that region. We also, free trade zones as well. So we get to see encouragement of free trade zones, trade around certain areas. Now, discourage is demarcated boundaries make it harder to travel. So if you have a fence around your house, it can be harder to travel within your property. Make it harder to get into your property. So if we see demarcated boundaries, it can make it harder to travel and create interactions. So if you have a demarcated boundary and you trade with another country, then it might discourage the other country from trading with you because you have a boundary that can make it harder to bring stuff into your country. And then, of course, revolution aftermath discourages interaction. So, American Revolution, they didn't really want to have anything to do with Britain after the revolution and they won independence. So that discouraged international interactions. Now let's get into UNCLOS, the United States Convention of the Law on the Law of the Sea. So this establishes and defines coastal and maritime boundaries. We can kind of see a picture. Now, NM stands for nautical miles, and we're going to learn what each zone and sea is and what you can do and all that stuff for the United States Convention on the Sea and what they created. So, territorial sea extends for 12 nautical miles from the baseline. So we can see our baseline on this map, and we see territorial sea. And this mark right here is 12 nautical miles. So it extends for 12 nautical miles. Commercial or military boats are not allowed in these waters without permission. And then the use of the water is up to the state's jurisdiction. So the state could be like, just have it used like a beach. People could swim in. They can do that, and no one can tell them they can't do that because, it's their territorial waters. But let's say Canada has, in Canada's territorial sea, and Algeria sends military boats, and they goes into the territorial sea. Algeria is going to be in the wrong, and Canada can take down those boats. All laws that apply in that state will apply in territorial sea. So if you have a law that says you cannot hold up your middle finger to someone, and you do it in territorial sea, you're still breaking the state's law. Contiguous zone, which is after the territorial sea, extends for 12 to 24 nautical miles from shore. We can see the second mark right here is the contiguous zone at 24 nautical miles. Now, a state has limited control for the purpose of punishment or preventing certain customs or acts, so stuff that will negatively affect that state. And this begins international travel. So military boats, if Algeria goes to Canada and they go 13 nautical miles from the baseline, they're in the right there. They can try to limit some, they could try to limit or they can limit some travel, but this is, international travel, free travel after 12 nautical miles. Yeah, this starts international waters. Now we get into the exclusive economic zone, which extends 12 to 200 nautical miles from the shore. And then a state can pick and choose what marine exploration and resources are used. So let's say you're 100 nautical miles out. You can fish. You could say, I want y'all to explore a coral reef over here, make a documentary on it, blah, 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 blah. All this can happen in exclusive economic zone. As soon as you hit that 201 nautical miles from the shore, it is not your territory anymore. You have no control over fishing, marine exploration, islands, all of that stuff. And that starts the high seas, 200 nautical miles after. Alright, we got a skill check. Complete this in under 30 minutes. It'll help you do it. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you want to subscribe, do it. It's free. You can change your mind if you don't like my channel in the future. Just subscribe. It'll help me out. Like the video. It helps me out. Comment down below some criticism. I love criticism. Join my Discord server if you want to learn something or teach other people things. I have Fact of the Day, trivia, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.